Hello, I'm Skeleton. I've hit Radiant countless times on multiple agents, and I've also peaked rank 1 on Europe. I am an experienced coach and player, and I'm basically just here to help you learn everything you need to know about Valorant. Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at KillJoy on Ascent. Now, KillJoy is arguably the strongest sentinel on this map. I think Cypher's really good, but Cypher's harder to pull off, and if it's harder, there might be less consistency, and KillJoy, you can't go wrong really. Like, she's just a solid pick. She's good on attack, good on defense. She does the job, that's why so many people pick her on this map. So we're going to be going over KillJoy on Ascent. So when looking at defense on KillJoy, there's some nice setups on A, but we want to be leaning heavily towards B. The reason why is B's a nightmare to retake, and it's harder to hold as well. If you think about how we're going to be playing Ascent, A main is much more fightable. You can do the one way, the Omen one way. If you have a Phoenix, you can molly or a KO, whatever. You can fight A main, but B main is much harder to fight. Like, it's a bit of a nightmare to fight. Obviously, you can still do it, but A main is easier to take, and and B is just harder to hold in general. So when looking at how we want to be playing B, we'll have a look at some turrets first. My favorite turret, the one I do quite a lot, is this one. Now, you can technically do this turret most rounds as long as they're not rushing B every single time. If they're hard hitting B or they're just going 5A, 5B, 5A, 5B, this turret is worthless. It doesn't do anything. But if they're playing pretty slow, they're playing defaulty, this turret is super strong. It gives you the info early on B main. It gives you something to play off. You can, when the turret goes off, you can peek. You can play like an off angle like this. When the turret goes off, there's a guy here, and you can kind of play an off angle, or you can just play close. You can mix it up with this turret, and it gives you a lot of opportunity to maybe get a pick, or as I said, get early info. So this turret is super strong. If they are hitting fast, the logs turret works. This also covers the walkout, right? Maybe some guy's trying to lurk out, it's gonna go off. If the jet's dashing switch, it's gonna start shooting him. It's really annoying. And if the guys are going lane, again. The only problem with this turret is they can hear it if they walk up close enough. So they might just molly it. But it's a decent turret. And then there's the default one again. This is like an annoying turret for people to deal with. If they're rushing, like if you're rushing through a smoke and this turret's going off, and then there's a guy market, a guy CT, maybe there's a guy on lane. It's a super annoying turret to have to deal with. And it's decent. And usually this is a turret I always do on pistol round, and I always do it if I don't have an alarm bot. And it's just a turret up here. And this turret is great because it covers B main and it covers mid. So like on pistol rounds, you're probably gonna have a ghost and a molly, right? So this turret, obviously it covers that. But a variation of it, if you want, is this one as well. And then this will cover mid and it will cover main. Now, this is good. Obviously, it gives you a little bit info a little bit earlier. Maybe you can peek off this, like the turret goes off and you can peek. But what I would say is, with this turret, it kind of locks you inside. You can't really say if you wanted to play backside, the turret goes off. But if you're playing inside or whatever, it's fine. And this turret's gonna probably break a little bit quicker, whereas with this one, it kind of forces them to have to peek out wide. So it's preference really, it's up to you and depends where you're playing. Both turrets work. And yeah, like I guess you can do like an annoying turret like this, maybe some rounds for the run out. This turret goes off, you can peek. Yeah, that's really it for turrets. Most rounds, you're gonna be wanting to play your alarm bot on mid. I'd say when you don't want to play your alarm bot mid is if they're rushing 5A, 5B, 5A, 5B, and they're going super fast every single round. Then you want to be kind of trying to stack your util on site. That's when you can maybe do this turret. You can put your alarm bot like out here. You can maybe put it on lane, and you can put it on lane like this or something, and then mix it with 2 mollies. When the alarm bot goes off, you pop the mollies. It's gonna smash these people. yeah, that's really the only time you're gonna want your alarm bot on site, is if they're hitting site super hard. But in general, you want to be keeping your alarm bot on mid. When looking at mollies on B, you know, obviously you can do like a pretty basic one. You can just throw one here, but it usually gets broken. What you don't want to do is throw your molly like on the barrier, because this will get broken 100%. If you're throwing them a little bit out wide, like here, you know, it kind of covers a good bit of space. If the Jets dash and switch a lot, mollies you want to do is you can throw one here, you can throw one like here, and this is just going to cover the whole of switch. It's going to fry the guy if he's trying to get on the button. And then for lane, if you want to be molly in lane, you want to keep the mollies on the inside of the wall. And the reason why is, you know, say if they have a server, I'll just put this, if they have a server, you can just bounce a shock dart off this wall, you know, especially in high elo, you know, people might walk against this wall, they'll hear the mollies through the wall, and then the server will just shock dart, or the KillJoy, you know, will just throw a molly like this and break both your mollies. Whereas here, they're harder to hear and harder to break, right? So you can throw a molly like here, like this, and you can couple it with one like this if you want, or you can throw it a little bit out, further out wide. It's really up to you. Which is obviously really strong if you're playing backside. Maybe you want to play a position like here, or you know, like, you're playing like this. You know, these mollies are going to push them out into you, and obviously it's going to do damage as well. Or it's going to just completely stall them. In terms of like mollies on B and stuff like that, like it is all pretty basic stuff. Like KillJoy is a simple agent. It's all pretty basic stuff. As long as you're doing it properly and applying it properly and your positioning is good, like you're gonna be fine. Some of my favorite positions to play KillJoy on B, this is by far like probably my favorite position. Like I play here all the time. You know, if for some reason, if the server has an Odin, you know, you can just start the round off like just playing like this. And then when they start to push B, you know, you can kind of like creep forward. The reason this position is super good is, say you have your mollies down, right? I'm just going to throw them here just because it's a bit easier. You have your mollies down, right? The enemies are running out B main, maybe there's some running lane, you have a teammate in market, or maybe he's stairs applying pressure, or he's spamming from CT. They're going to be kind of looking towards him, and you can just peek out on timing. Maybe you let the first two people out, right? The first two people run out onto site, then you pop your mollies, and then you peek, right? And because these two people have got out safe, the enemies are not really going to... If you start the round holding like this, like usually you get pre-fired and you die, everyone checks this angle. But if you're hiding and then you peek late, you get so many free kills. Like I do it all the time. I play this position so much. So if you ever play against me on ranked, like just spam this position and you'll probably kill me. But yeah, this position is super strong. You know, you can peek out, kill one, kill two, and you can leave. You know, like you can play on site then. And even if you die on site, you've done your job. Some other nice positions, you know, playing like logs, playing, you know, you want to be trying to play crossfires with your teammates. I wouldn't recommend this area all that much. Then please don't play in this area if you're on your own, because you're stuck. You know, you want to be in a position where you can fall back if there's a lot of pressure. The good thing about here, you know, you get a lot of pressure, you can fall into site, you can play here, you know, you can fall back into backside. You can do a lot. It's same with stairs, right? Like stairs is pretty decent because, you know, you can maybe hold like this, kill one, and you can fall back. And the good thing about playing stairs is if you've got your mollies on lane, you know no one's gonna be like insta rushing you on lane. So you know, you can kind of play stairs, kill one. You know, you've popped your mollies, so you know you're pretty safe, and you can fall back into sight. If say they have a KillJoy or something like this, you know, you can play from CT. If I'm playing from CT, that's usually when I'll use this turret, right? I'll probably use this turret and I'll use these mollies. And the reason why is because, you know, with these mollies, what it's going to do is, you know, obviously you're going to be smoked on CT, right? When this turret goes off, you know that they're out now. And when you know that they're out, that's when you want to pop your mollies, that's when you want to start spamming, you know, and you'll be surprised how many kills you're going to start getting through smokes when you're placing your util correctly. For B, really, like, that's it. You know, I can go more in depth on like super, you know, in-depth setups in another video, but for now, you know, I just want to be covering the basics, what everyone should be doing and what everyone should know when they're playing KillJoy. And as I said, you know, we want to make sure we've got this alarm bot on mid. You know, if you do want to get aggressive, maybe you're on a low buy and you have like a guardian or an outlaw or a marshal or something, you know, you can put your turret like here, right? And just kind of play off your turret. The turret goes off, you know, then you peek out wide. Or your turret can hold your top mid while you walk down here, you know? And you can kind of try to take the space on mid, do something aggressive like this. Same thing with this turret, you know, if you've been holding B main for a while, you know, you can push through B main, take some space, take some pressure, make some pressure, try to get a flank, or even if you just push B main and you break the turret up here, you know, there's so much pressure on the map now. All these guys on mid are going to be worried about you pushing B main, and you might have just ran all the way back onto site. So yeah, super important. Make sure you're putting pressure on the map. Just because you're a sentinel don't mean you need to sit backside every single round. You want to be putting pressure on the map. When looking at A, I'm not a massive fan of playing KillJoy on A. I know there's a lot of people that like it, but I prefer playing B. I feel like I'm more comfortable on B. But when playing A, a pretty good setup you can do is put your turret. Well, let me get the thing. You want to put your turret like here. And you can put 2 mollies like this, an alarm bot or something. And when they're pushing out into this space here, you know, your turret's gonna go off. Your turret's gonna go off. You can pop both your mollies and you can kind of fight off this, or you can play on this side. You know, you can hold this side and your turret's got the right side, and it's super annoying for the enemies to deal with, and you can get a couple of kills doing that. And obviously this turret's not going to get broken early, and because it's hidden, the enemies don't know that you're actually playing KillJoy on site. A lot of the time the enemies might be like, right, okay, KillJoy's on A, let's rotate B. So keeping your util kind of hidden is valuable. A thing that I used to do in a team I used to play in, which worked really well, is I would put a turret up here like this, and the Omen would play in wine, right? And the Omen would hold his flash, and when the turret went off, say here, he would flash. And he would flash like 3 or 4 people, and then he'd peek off the flash. So you know, you can do stuff like that. Maybe if your duo's on Omen, your duo, I mean, maybe it'd work with KO or something, but it worked much better with Omen. You can't dodge his flash. You know, you can just tell you're ranked Omen. Play wine when my turret goes off, you know, you can flash. And you know, using your util in synergy with your teammates is very important. Obviously, if you're playing A and you know you want to get aggressive or something, you could put a turret like this, but I wouldn't suggest it really. And then you know, this turret's great as well because it covers short, or you can just put one. I put one up here quite a lot as well. And again, you know, it'll cover your short, and it'll cover your sight. Again, maybe they have a KillJoy ult, maybe they're rushing A super heavy and you're struggling to hold it, or they're rushing short a lot. A nice setup is you can just put your alarm bot here, molly like this. You can have your turret up here. So this setup's super good for if you're maybe playing retake on A, right? Maybe keep a molly, so you can if you are playing retake on A, keep a molly. You know, you can keep a molly here for short, keep your alarm bot around this area, just to stop them pushing you. If they know you're playing retake, they might fight door and try to kill you, right? So you want to make sure this area is secure. You know, you can throw your ult down and you can throw a molly. It's just like here, right? And this molly should bounce off the thing. I did miss it twice. You know, and it'll molly this area if they're trying to go wine. Super, you know, strong setup if you're retaking A. So yeah, you know, if you really want to kill them, you know, you can throw 2 mollies here. So again, it's just like this. Pop these mollies and you're gonna like fry the enemies if they're in wine. So it's like a decent little retake setup you can do for A. And yeah, for defense, that's the basics really. That's all you need to know. I'm looking at KillJoy on attack. Realistically, most rounds you want to be lurking, right? Or you want to be putting pressure on the map. Now, something I like to do a lot, and this is super ratty, but if the enemies are playing aggressive, this works super well, is I get in this corner, and if you want a good way to pre-fire, because I get a bit confused, like if I'm sitting in a corner like this, you can aim on this black thing here, and you just peek out and you got like the perfect pre-aim. So when the turret goes off, say that you know they're fighting B a lot, turret goes off, you know, you just peek out wide, get a pretty easy kill, which is nice. I kill so many people from doing this, so it works really well. Now, if you want to take B main early, let's say, you know, your team are splitting B, or you're just on your own in B main and you want to take the space, just throw your turret here, wait for it to activate, obviously. And now, you know, if this turret's not going off, you know there's not an op, you know you're pretty safe. You can peek out wide and just, you know, obviously be careful of this corner. It's like the only corner really, like, you know, of like here and here is where the enemies can be. And then you've got B main space now, you know, you can pick your turret up, you can leave an alarm bot, and you can leave. You off B main. B main is yours. So it's a really nice way to take B main. If you're executing B, there's two mollies that are really, really strong. So there's one, and you line, it's here, okay, let me shoot with the vandal. And you line the corner of the molly, the turret symbol, UI, right, with that, and you just throw. And it should land on logs, yeah, like this. Now, this is gonna get the guy logs, gonna clear logs, but it also, you know, will clear anyone holding this off angle. I mean, I guess it does a bit of market as well, but yeah, this molly's super strong. And then from the same position, there is this one, and this one's a bit weirder. So you want to be the bottom of this thing, you want to line it up with this, right? And it's the same thing with the UI, same part of the UI, just like that. And you jump through, and it's going to land on stairs. So you can throw these two mollies when you're executing B, that one, and you can throw the logs one, right? And that's just going to clear like two really important spaces on B. You know, it's going to flush the guy outstairs, going to flush the guy out logs. Really strong mollies. And for mid, if you really want, again, if the enemies are fighting mid or they've got an AWPer, where is it? There we go. You can just put your turret up here, just anywhere on this wall, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna clear that. It's gonna clear the close angles. You might want to jump peek just to clear, you know, if he's holding tight. But you know, this, if I'm doing this turret, I'm usually got an alarm bot for B main, just to make sure I'm not getting flanked, because this flank is so annoying to deal with. Yeah, and if I'm going top mid, you know, a nice turret is just this one. And this is just going to cover you on mid. You know, so maybe your team are going 4 main and you want to lurk short. This turret's just going to cover you. You know, say if you're here, you know, obviously make sure you're clearing your corners. Say if you're here and then there's a guy that wants to peek out wide, you know, that turret's got your back, so it's a pretty good turret. And then if I need a main holding, I'll usually just put my turret like as deep as possible, so that it covers most of the map. You know, if you're putting your turret like back here, then when you get to short, you know, the turret's going to go off, whereas if your turret's further forward, it's going to follow you deeper on the map. You know, it's going to keep giving you info, so put your turret as far forward as possible, if you know, if you do want to be covering the main push. So for A, two mollies you need to know really is this one and this one. And these two are just going to cover, you know, it's going to clear gen, it's going to clear heaven. Pretty good mollies. Yeah, if you're executing A, you want to go fast A, it's just going to help your team a lot. You know, they're not going to have to worry about gen as much, and no one's going to be swinging out heaven on you. So yeah, use those mollies. And I usually will just put my turret somewhere like this. It just covers deep. or you know, if you want, you can put your turret like here. But what I like to do is hold the flank. Like I'll just put an alarm bot here, and I'll usually just, like, say if there's a smoke in main, I just throw my turret like out here somewhere, you know, and it's just something else that's going to be shooting at the guys swinging out heaven, and something else shooting at the guys that's maybe swinging out door. It's something else for the enemies to worry about. You know, if you've got a teammate hiding behind dice, you've maybe got a guy in the box, guy gen, guy under, you're in main, and then they've got this turret as well. Like, it gives something for your teammates to shoot off of and you to shoot off of, and it's also just something else for the enemies to have to shoot at. It's something else that they've got to focus on. So, you know, if you can hold onto your turret, it's actually super strong, and, you know, just use your alarm bot to hold the flank. It's fine. And yeah, for, you know, the sight ults, you can even do an ult like this, which is, you know, going to cover a little bit more of sight, and a lot of people like to do this one as well. I do prefer this ult, just because it kind of, the only thing you have to worry about is backside, right? Whereas the other one, you know, they can kind of be hiding in this backspace. You know, they can kind of be hiding like here. So if you can do this ult, do this ult. The only danger with this one is obviously maybe if they have a Phoenix they can flash, a KO they can flash. If there's a smoke in main, they can spam it. So this one's a lot safer, whereas this one is a lot better. So if you have full control, you know, of this main space, maybe you have a guy over here, you know, this one's a lot stronger. It's really up to you and, you know, what's going on the map. And for B, again, if they have a gun that they can spam, you want to make sure it's behind the box like this. The only problem with it being behind the box is they can hide backside, or one person can hide backside, but this is not going to get broken. If they don't, you know, you want to make sure it's on this box, or, you know, you can put it in this corner, I guess, and it's just going to cover the whole of site. It's like pretty basic stuff, but it's just, you know, you want to make sure you're applying this in your ranked games. There's so many people I see in lower relos that are using the util wrong and just not thinking. You just have to think about your util, and if you apply and use your util correctly and basically, and your aim is strong enough, and your game sense is decent, you know, you're gonna fly through the ranks. But it's a lot of people, they're so focused on their aim, and because the aim is the thing that you see, right? You see your aim when you're playing, when you're fighting, when you're doing anything. The aim is the thing that you see on the screen. But why are you in this certain position? Why is there 4 people on your screen? You know, if you're using your util properly, if you were applying the basics, maybe if you didn't get your KillJoy ult broken insta, you know, you maybe would have won this round and you would have got a gun, and then you would have, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that comes into winning a game. It's not just shooting people. You have to make sure you're applying the fundamentals, and yeah, making sure you're drilled and you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. So yeah, and that's really it for the basics on KillJoy on Ascent. We can go more in depth on KillJoy, do some show some setups, some more lineups and stuff like that, but for now that's really all you need to know. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we're going to be doing some more KillJoy videos.